So it's Women's History Month in the Americas, and a book entitled The Mother of Us All, about our national hero, Nanny of the Maroons, written by an American woman and reviewed by an Indian journalist in The Gleaner, was too much to pass up. Joining us now from North Carolina is the author, Carla Gottlieb. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I am so happy to be here, and I'm doing great. How are you?
I am well. Thanks for asking. So this is a television interview, so I have to go to the uncomfortable question first. We're looking
Yes.
at you on camera, and we're wondering a little bit about your background. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I have an interesting background. On my father's side, we're Jewish from Austria. We fled the pogroms. So a lot of killing, a lot of oppression, a lot of people lost in the Holocaust. On my mom's side, been in this country since the 1700s in Georgia. We aligned with the Cherokee Indians and hid them at our farm in 1820 when they were doing the Cherokee, moving all the Seminoles and Cherokees out to Oklahoma. So I have a bit of experience in my DNA and genealogy with oppression and from several points of view, Jewish, Indian, things like that.
So a very diverse background, and at the same time here, you're writing about Nanny of the Maroons. How come?
What the heck, right? Where did this come from? So I can be a little bit obsessed. Okay, I can kind of get into things and dig my heels in and just really want to know about things. So it was 1992. I was sitting in a women's studies class at San Francisco State University, and I read an article written by Philomena Chioma Steady. And it was a beautiful article, had one paragraph. I remember the day, it was a Tuesday. I'm sitting there, I read this paragraph about Queen Nanny. And I say to myself, oh my God, what a woman who changed the face of the world. I'm going to go read everything I can find about her. Went to the library, got in touch with the library in Jamaica, started getting everything. I had nothing. I had clips. I had little simple things. I had Kamal Braithwaite's treatise about Queen Nanny and Stam Sharp. I had a book of poetry. I had a book for kids. I had the book Nanny Town, which is a novel by Vic Reed. There was nothing academic. There was nothing well researched. There was nothing for me to get my hands on. So I said, I just need to write about her. So it's a weird story, but I was driving and I drove under a rainbow that appeared. And in my brain, this thing said to me, you have to write about Queen Nanny and you have to write your thesis about her. So I did. And my advisor took one look at it, read it, said to me, this is not your thesis only, Carla. This is a book. This needs to be written. This needs to be out there.
Because initially it was supposed to be, as you say, a research paper, but moved into being sort of a published book. How did you then get information in order to get this together, considering what you said before, that there was such a lack of information about her?
Yeah, I read everything ever written about her that there is. I read everything. I read all of the peace treaties. I read the descriptions of these crazy British soldiers in 1735 who had encountered her with a necklace of the jaw of the Laird of La Harette's around her neck. I read everything there was. I talked to the library in Jamaica. I got copies. I have a stack this big of mimeographs of things the Jamaican library sent me. Oh my God, as chance would have it, somebody in my class said, Carla, there's a Maroon in San Francisco right now. Would you like to meet him? His name is Major Charles Aarons. And I said, of course I would. I met him. I met Farika Birhan. They said, would you set up some speaking engagements for him? And I said, would I? So I devoted like 4 months to get him to speak at colleges, at high schools, at any, big 100 people listening to this wonderful man speaking about his history and his blood and Queen Nanny and the Maroons in general. So a lot of the book is really half and half. It's a lot of written, published by the British, and it's a lot of oral history from the Maroons and other Jamaicans.
Yes, and sorry, go ahead, you were saying?
No. So basically, I tried to be really even-handed. I didn't want to just give a British perspective or just a Jamaican perspective. I wanted to give, a fair everything there is about her that's known or said or written.
And part of this is also sort of reclaiming the history of the Maroons overall, not just Nanny, but the Maroons overall, and the sort of important history that they had in Jamaica. Tell us, in terms of the Maroons, how important that was to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely important. I mean, this morning I was texting with this man in Jamaica, Morris Lee, who has a company called Chromanti Experience. And he said, wait a second, you're the one who wrote The Mother of Us All? And I said, yes. He goes, oh my God, I need to meet you. I said, well, I come to Jamaica, often. So yeah, there's another man, Roy T. Anderson, who made a film about Queen Nanny, an hour-long documentary. And it is brilliant. And our goal, Roy and I, is to get either this book or his film into the hands of every Jamaican, every school, every university. Let people know the history. The Maroon history is brilliant. Do you know it paved the way for the Haitian Revolution? Queen Nanny sent her soldiers to Haiti and trained them, and that's how they defeated the French. And guess what? Napoleon was bankrupt by his army with the Haitians, and that is how we were able to purchase Louisiana and the Louisiana Purchase.
Wow.
So she changed the history of the world. They studied her in Vietnam. Okay, she invented camouflage. She invented the use of the abang as long-distance communication. She used psychological warfare by making the British think they were crazy. She used, chemical warfare. She took herbs. She was an herbalist. She took herbs and put them in boiling, waters and rivers and drugged the British. She was incredible, and not only as a military strategist, but as an Obia woman and as a user of the word science, which means in Maroon, like science is African spiritual knowledge. Yeah.
And at the same time, important is the fact that she was a woman at a particular juncture in history. Talk to us about this notion of her being a woman and what it means or what that means overall. A notion of her being a woman, but what the notion of feminism at that point in time.
That is so interesting. So the Asante or the Akan people, right? That's where most of her people were descended from. They call her I'm pronouncing it wrong, Ohema, which I thought means queen, mother, first mother. Everything I read says that it means that. Well, I just found out from a Ghanaian person, no, it means woman who rules, a ruler who is female. And in that tradition, which is mostly matriarchal, matrilinear culture, the women were the leaders and still are. So, and I've heard professors from UWI-Mona say, we need to stop saying, oh, she's so special because she's a woman and she's a leader. No, she's a leader who happens to be a woman. Yeah. And as she brought a more nurturing, a more healing, a more respectful of other women and kids. It wasn't all about kill, kill, kill. It's about give us our freedom. Let us be free. Let us be people. Let us live our lives. Leave us alone. We're not trying to destroy you. We just want you out of our country. Get out. This is Jamaica. This is, 90% African or more, And then, of course, there's the Amerindian tie, and I could go on and on. So, but yeah, for sure, let's look at her from a feminist point of view. She is a woman. She was a military strategist. She ruled incredibly fair and was not she didn't go and massacre children. That was not her point.
But just a huge structure, a huge figure rather in Jamaican culture and in Jamaican history. Thank you so much, Carla Gottlieb. She's the author of The Mother of Us All. I believe, where can you find the book if you want to read more about Queen Nanny?
Yeah, you can go to Amazon. You can go to Africa World Press and just Google my name and it'll come up. That's probably the best way to buy it. It's not expensive. Whenever I'm in Jamaica, I bring, 100 copies with me and I basically either give them away or sell them for reduced price to any Jamaican, with a couple weeks. So I'm coming back in June. I would love to connect with anybody about this.
All right. Thank you so much again, Carla Gottlieb. She's the author of The Mother of Us All. And please take care.
Thank you so much. Stay safe.